Welcome back, guys, to another video. In today's video, we are exploring some of the best Pokemon single card investments that you could be making in the market right now. Before we jump in, make sure you guys are subscribing to the channel. Anytime you guys are shopping for single cards, go to the description down below, click this link. It is going to redirect you to my eBay store. We have a ton of awesome cards. We upload full scans of the cards so you know exactly what you're receiving. If you're interested, again, links down in the description below. Let's jump in. Pikachu Generations Radiant Collection. You know, these are the types of cards that I think are, over time, are just going to be staples in your not only collecting journey, but also an investment portfolio. Now, whether you want to recognize it or not, these Pokemon cards have value, especially the old ones, if they are in good condition. And there are a lot of people who are just interested in buying your older cards because they are running a business or they are needing them for their stores, their streams, whatever it may be. People are constantly buying Pokemon cards, not just as collectibles, but as the business side. And the market value of a lot of these cards over time tends to trickle up. Now, if you've been around for a long time, that is not any brand new news, but I think there are certain cards that are just going to perform significantly better. This being one of them. This is the OG Generations. It feels undervalued. You know, $200 for a near mint copy, considering the packs from even an untrusted source are going to run you like $200 to $250 a pack. This being one of the top hits, huge market value premium if you are able to grade it high in a 9 or a 10. Feel really confident about this. Another consideration as well is we're going to be receiving a lot of Pikachu cards for 30th anniversary, but they're all going to have the 30th anniversary stamp, whereas this generation's Pikachu, it doesn't have that. This is still the generation's 20th anniversary set, but you do not have that logo, and I think these types of cards are significantly better, and for some reason, the artwork just works, so I'm feeling very confident about this one. Beyond that point, you know, look into the older vintage black and white era sets. Legendary Treasure is one of my all-time favorite sets to open. Probably my favorite black and white set to rip, just because you're getting so many foils and hits. It's unlike any other set that the Pokemon Company has made during this time. The Reshiram Legendary Treasures, the backdrop of the roses, the like rose petal coloring contrasted with the white Legendary Reshiram. Again, it just works. The artwork's beautiful. And I think the fundamentals of the set being vintage Legendary Treasures combined with this being a chase card and a legendary Pokemon, all of that is just positioning it to be a really, really good buy. Now, I think here we have a light play copy, but overall market value, 177, same thing, near mint, sub 200. Considering brand new alt arts and SIR cards are opening out the gate higher than that, it just feels cheap in this market. Shifting focus to something a little bit newer here, you know, this is Sword and Shield Battle Styles. Now, Sword and Shield I have a love-hate relationship with because the first half was trash and then the second half was absolute heat. Battle Styles is one of those sets where I was able to pull the chase card out of every set except Battle Styles. I have never pulled this Tyranitar out of a pack, but I think it's just a really, really cool artwork. You know, it's Tyranitar just eating so much food and just heading straight into sleep. And I don't know, there's just something about this card, you know. I think it just connects with a lot of people, and Tyranitar is a cool Pokemon. We have a few cool Tyranitar cards recently, looking back to something like Scarlet, Violet, maybe Paldea Evolved with the illustration rare, but that Tyranitar is more like a fierce, menacing design, whereas here you have, you know, a post-meal nap in this like adorable, cute illustration. I think it definitely is the top chase card without a doubt. And, you know, overall Battle Styles as a set isn't too good, but the card itself is worth pursuing. 250 near mint market price value, pushing 300. You know, it seems expensive, but I think Battle Styles has been very stagnant for a long time, and considering how old it is another alt-art card worth exploring. Moving on to something that is an absolute buy, it's going to be the Suicune here, Crown Zenith Galarian Gallery. Near mint here about $60. Light play copies right below that, but overall pretty good growth within the past year, past 3 months, still making movement. I think as the set continues to get older, what you're going to find is that less of these are just going to be hitting the market. There's a depletion of sealed products. What that means is that there's going to be fewer of these cards in that near mint condition hitting the market, and as a result, the existing cards that are in good condition are going to see much faster price appreciation than the damaged or worse copy counterparts. My suggestion with Modern has always been the same, and it always will be. Try to only target the near mint cards. That's not to say that people aren't going to buy like light play or moderately played. If you are able to get a really good deal, it's still worth buying, but more times than not, the worse conditions, you are attracting a lower end clientele of buyer down the line when you do go to sell it. Another consideration as well is with the worst condition, more times than not, you are catering to the kind of what I like to call the binder collector. It is a very specific type of collector, whereas near mint, it kind of caters to everybody. So it is worth paying that premium. Let's move on. Another top tier one from Generations. I think Generations right now, it's overlooked. And the main avenue for me is just the stamp that is not included. I don't dislike 25th anniversary, and I definitely don't dislike the upcoming 30th anniversary. But I think a lot of these cards we all agree would be cooler without the stamp. The stamp, again, is just to commemorate the celebratory year, so to speak. So I understand why the Pokemon company does it, but a lot of people would agree that, hey, the stamp isn't absolutely necessary. And 20th anniversary is a set where they didn't do that. 25th is the first one where they did, but this Gardevoir is really nice. It features the Ralts, the Kirlia, the Gardevoir. Again, very, very cute, colorful artwork. It is a really interesting card because the packs of Generations, again, 200 to 250. How is a near mint copy only $100? It's a lot of these prices on older cards. It just feels like they're off. The market doesn't know how to value them, and this is a avenue that I am stocking up because I think over time these are going to be extremely popular cards. As long as you're buying popular Pokemon, as a sealed product gets more expensive, the singles inevitably have to. So from a risk to reward ratio, I would much rather be buying the singles because the sealed product is already so expensive. Before we get into the next card, again, quick reminder, make sure you guys are subscribing, seeing the growth. We're almost at 4K. Very much appreciate it. Anytime you guys want to get sealed products, check out our website, PokeKingShop.com. I'm going to quickly touch note on the third link in our description, which is our pro group. If you hit this link, it's going to direct you here to our pro group. If you want factory sealed cases, make sure to join Starter Elite. It just depends on your spend. If you're spending multiple $1,000s per month, join Elite. You are going to get the biggest savings. Everybody has access to the same product catalog. We are cheaper than any pricing you can find online anywhere. That is what you're paying the membership for, and you are also getting access to me as a resource to help you out. So if that's of interest, make sure to check those links out. Let's take a look at something a little bit on the cheaper side. Near mint on the Mewtwo here, $20. Now, this is interesting because this is the first time where we have full art cards that do feature some sort of trainer. So this is, Team Rocket's Mewtwo, not just Mewtwo EX, it's Team Rocket's Mewtwo, features the Giovanni in the back. And I really like this kind of contrast of making the trainer card in the background and then shifting the Pokemon, not dead center, but to one side. It's a very unique style of artwork. And I think the Pokemon Company is not going to bring it back for quite some time. I think that the focus right now is really just the Mega Block, the Mega Pokemon, and we got a few really, really good sets, Destined Rivals being one of the better ones. Now, the reason why this, to me, is very attractive is because we just got the reprint of Destined Rivals, so what you're going to find, this market price isn't going to tell us much since we have a damaged copy, but ultimately, as more Destined Rival products gets released, the supply is increasing, the prices have to come down. Once the sealed product values begin to tank, single card values are also going to be tanking, and kind of on that reverse flip side, this is exactly the time where you should be accumulating. You should be buying more copies. Again, rule stays the same, only buy near mint, but hopefully that is another interesting play that you guys could take advantage of for some of the collectors who don't have as high of a budget. Now, everybody doesn't have, $200-300 to buy these cards. Sometimes your budget may only be $20. That Team Rocket Mewtwo is a really good one. Shifting focus back to Sword and Shield, Evolving Skies. It is a best of breed set. Overall, the sealed product has been kind of stagnant on Evolving Skies, but I'm still very bullish on the alt arts. I do believe that if we talk a overall, part or like collecting community, the Eeveelution collectors. Eeveelutions are by far one of the fastest growing, collecting cohorts out there in the entire TCG community. Now, we have most recently all the focus on Prismatic Evolutions, but if you go back, the OG chase cards were actually in Evolving Skies. This is the beautiful Espeon here in the library with all the books flying around. The attention to details unmatched. You have a little Eevee here. This is a Pokemon that's just relaxing with a book. It is very interesting because Espeon is, using its psychic powers to move the boxes or the books around. It's a really cool and interesting artwork. You don't really have this level of attention to detail with a lot of sets. I feel like a lot of the sets now, it's just shiny, foiling, using a lot of colors, but there's not that much detail. This is one of those cards that does have a lot of detail, precisely the reason why it is up nearly 75% over the past year. It was a $130 card, now a $240 card. Again, with how expensive Evo Skies is, I think anything under $400 on Eeveelution alt arts is an instant buy. Espeon is a good one. Another really, really good one that I have personally been liking is going to be none other than the Leafeon. Leafeon here with the fall leaves, very, very cool artwork. This one is $160, give or take, in that near mint condition. This is a light play copy. Not too much movement, not as much movement as the Espeon, but it is still going to be a good one. Again, it is like half the price, so you do have to keep that into consideration. But overall, another really safe pick. I think just give it time. These are the types of cards that are just highly collectible, and there are constantly people who are interested in buying them, whether it's to grade, put it in a binder, etc. Very, very cool card as well. Ultimately, you can't go wrong with any. You can buy Flareon, Vaporeon, Jolteon. The people who have the cards are the ones who are going to win. But yeah, these are just some of my top picks. I think out of all the cards we discussed in today's video, the most interesting pick for me is going to have to be Generations. I think the Generations cards, people are not valuing them enough considering how expensive the sealed product is. And there's just so many popular Pokemon where the prices still do not make sense. Hopefully you guys learned something here today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a comment, like and subscribe, and we are going to catch you here in the next one.